face of the Rebel Legion and the New England Garrison of the 501st Legion. Locally, we are two sides of the same coin. We're very tight-knit, good guys and bad guys. As you can see from our booth today, we're all working together, getting along for Dana Farber. And to my right,
I'm Denise, Hurd, executive officer. And I've been doing this for 3 years now.
and I'm hitting year 9 pretty soon. So a little bit about who we are and what we do. The 501st Legion is an international Star Wars costuming organization that promotes Star Wars fandom while helping others through charity work and community service. Basically what that means is we dress up in plastic armor and we show up places and we raise money for charity and great causes.
Rebel Legion, we're an international Star Wars. Yeah, just like that, except we're the good guys.
So trading plastic armor for
Jedi.
both organizations kind of have the same outlook as far as what we do and why we do it. We have a mission statement for both organizations, which is roughly similar. We offer Star Wars costume enthusiasts a global community to enjoy, express, and share all of their costume talents. We promote quality and improvement of those costumes, and we follow the lead of Lucasfilm Limited, giving back to the community through works of charity and volunteerism.
We also promote peace and camaraderie among all members. If you walk by our booth, you're going to see that. The guys are always joking around, we all get along. And we don't just do it here. We get together outside. We're a big family. It's really fantastic. We value every member, sex, race, religion, physical handicap, sexual orientation. We don't care. Are you a Star Wars fan? You're a fan.
So really quickly, a bit about how we organize. The 501st Legion, it's divided into small units, fostering local identity, encouraging teamwork. We've got garrisons, which are the larger units, 30 members or more. Squads are 15 or more members. And outposts, so like we have an outpost Antarctica, which has 1 member. So we could get 1 member. But each unit covers like a distinct geographic region. So like the NEG, the New England Garrison, covers all of New England except Connecticut. Connecticut is its own separate garrison. So we don't have like a little portion of Connecticut that belongs to the NEG. Connecticut is its own thing. They don't pop up here. Each garrison, squad, outpost were a hub of Legion activity and made up of members who attend events often together. Now, take a look at the worldwide map. We've got over 73 garrisons, 67 squads, 29 outposts, and over 8,000 active members worldwide. If you look at the members that we've had over the years, we can push that number to somewhere around 15,000 people who have been part of this organization, who have joined and either retired or unfortunately passed, who have been part of this worldwide fraternity. Now, as far as the costumes, they're broken down into detachments. There's different segments that look at different costumes. So like, we've got Blizzard Force, which is for our snow troopers, or if you want to build a TIE pilot, there's experts in the Jolly Roger Squadron. If you want to be Darth Vader, you look at the Sith Lords, Crate Clan for Tuskens and Jawas and all of the other scum and villainy. And as for the Rebels?
Rebels, it's very much the same thing. We have bases instead of garrisons. Bases have to be at least 12 members and outposts are at least 3. Rebel Legion is a little smaller and a little newer. Not by much, but a little bit. Again, every base is a local geographical region. Some are larger than others. Alderaan base covers the same territory as the New England Garrison. It often falls into those lines. And again, Connecticut has communal base. And members from Connecticut might come here for having events. I know we've got a couple here. And that's great, that's awesome. We love to see them. But when they do events, we can go there. But it's their event, not ours. We have over 500 2,800 members and 47 bases worldwide and 20 outposts. And again, it's fantastic how much coverage we've got. Costume-specific base detachments we also have. We have Knights of the Jedi Order, which are your Jedis. The Clone Troopers have their own. Princess Leia would be in the Senate, Galactic Senate Order. And if you want to build one of those specific costumes, what we would do is we'd say, okay, these are the people you need to talk to because these are the experts. And they can tell you what materials to use, they can show you what patterns to use.
A little bit about our local history. The New England Garrison, we were founded in 2001. We're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. We have about 110 active members, and those members have about 227 costumes. So once you start as a member of the organizations, it tends to be like potato chips. Once you have one, you cannot stop. I myself have about 14 costumes between the two organizations.
Alderaan Base was founded in 2005. We have 51 members, and some of those 51 members are also in the New England Garrison. Many of us do both. We have 109 costumes, and we are the only Rebel Legion base that actually has members in all 9 detachments, which we worked hard for. It was a lot of fun.
So just a bit about the detachments themselves. One difference between the Rebel Legion and the 501st. The 501st doesn't do local groupings when it comes to costumes. So the Rebel Legion, in order to try to build some camaraderie and focus on mini squads within the base, they'll have groups that'll establish themselves. So like Bondar Temple is the local Knights of the Jedi Order. So it's a subset of the larger Knights of the Jedi Order. But as far as like the TIE pilots and the Jolly Roger Squadron go for 501st, there is no local squadron or wing because there's nothing that 501st is set up for. So frequently asked questions, let's get them out of the way. Where do we get our costumes and props? Everything that we make, from boots to helmets, it is homemade. These are constructed in garages and basements and backyards all throughout New England and all throughout the world. If there's somebody who's really good at making boots, maybe somebody who's really good at making armor, they'll help each other work on these costumes to get each other into the kits. This also means that our props, our life-size props, are all homemade. We can't exactly go out and buy a battle droid or buy an Ewok village. These are all things that our members have created themselves.
Ewoks don't come from Petco then, right?
No, not so much. Although my dog has one of those, it's the cutest thing in the world. Some of you might remember our life-size Jabba the Hutt that was here a few years ago. He now lives at Rancho Obi-Wan in California, part of the world's largest Star Wars collection, because they really, really wanted him. And, well, what Steve Sanson wants, Steve Sanson wants.
Another big question we get is what kind of events do you do? Our big ones, we usually do Star Wars Day out of Fenway Park. You might have seen us there. We have Appear with the Weird Al Yankovic concert. St. Patrick's Day in South Boston, we just did fairly recently. That's a lot of fun for us. Our largest event is Star Wars Celebration. It's not just our event, but we have a large number of people. I was in California last year, and I think just for ours, it's Europe this year, and just for our group last year, we had 10 or 12 people who made the trip to California. It was a lot of fun. But our big thing is charity events. We all do this because we love Star Wars. We all do this because it's fun. But there's nothing in the world like getting to do something you love and knowing you're doing something good for it. We've raised funds for the ALS Foundation, for Make-A-Wish. Today we're doing Dana Farber Foundation in Beverly
volunteer organized, but they recognize what we do and give their permission to go and do these events in their name. They'll ask us to do some of the larger events too if they've got an X-Wing in Times Square. They're going to call Alderaan base and say, hey, you got any X-Wing pilots that you can send down? If they're looking for stormtroopers for the Today Show, we've had people take the trip from New Hampshire to go down and stand on the set of the Today Show. And these are the kinds of things that get that through our association. But they don't pay us. They don't tell us what we have to do. They just strongly suggest what they'd like us to do.
How much money do we make?
Okay.
Zero. We are not allowed to make dollars. None of us do. As a matter of fact, we spend a lot of money on our costumes. We do not ever expect, we don't want to, we don't make it back. Everything we do is volunteer. Every penny we collect today is going to Dana Farber. We don't hold anything back.
There's nothing for expenses. There's nothing for, it's our fuel to bring the Millennium Falcon down there. That's donated by our members. There's nothing for, well, we're going to buy pizza out of this for the group with the 20 that you donated for taking a picture. It doesn't happen. Everything is all done by our members. Another constantly asked question, how do we get us to an event? We've got an appearance form on our website, 501neg.com, alderaanbase.com, a couple simple questions. Who are you? Where are you? What are you looking for us to do? It goes right to our event coordinator, and hopefully we're able to arrange an appearance.
Again, we're all volunteers. Sometimes we can't make it. Sometimes your event is directly across from something we've already committed to do. Like, if somebody asks us to do something this weekend, we're here. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
So taking a look at the membership requirements for our organizations, for the 501st Legion, the minimum age for membership in the 501st is 18 years old or higher if it's required by local law. And we require that you have a professional grade, screen accurate Star Wars costume that qualifies as Imperial, Sith, Creature, Denizen, or otherwise Imperial. We basically have three requirements to become and maintain your membership. 18 years or older, have a screen accurate costume, and show up one event a year. Just once on a rolling year, and you're considered a member of the 501st.
I touched it. Membership requirements for the Rebel Legion, very much the same thing. You have to be at least 18, or if some countries have a higher age of consent, essentially. Formal professional grade Star Wars costume, Rebel hero, creature, Rebel supporter, or a good guy. We do have some costumes that will qualify for either one. A Jawa, a Tusken Raider, you can actually have the same costume qualifying you for the 501st and the Rebel Legion. The Clone Troopers as well.
So we're going to open up the floor now to any questions. We kind of powered through these slides here today. Anybody have any questions that they'd like to ask about who we are or what we do? Otherwise, that wasn't my fault. Anybody? Any questions?
We both have websites, and a lot of our commanding officers, especially in small areas, our neighbors, we talk to all the time. So if we have something going on like the St. Patrick's Day Parade, it's one of our big events, and we want to make a really good showing, we'll call them and say, hey, we're doing this weekend, you want to come? And they'll go out. We all have our own websites for the local groups. Our own website will say, hey, this is going on in Connecticut. And they'll put it up saying, this is going on in rebellegion.com or 501st.com is the worldwide website, and each of us has a page there. So if you know you're going down to Florida, you can get in touch with them there and say, hey, I'm going to be down there. And some of our members actually do that. If we're going down to Disney World on vacation for a week, we'll get in touch with them and say, hey, I'm going to be there this weekend. Is anything going on? Or get in touch with them ahead of time and say, I want to come down in October. Are you guys doing Star Wars weekends? Which they're not having anymore, but we've had our members go down there and say, what weekend would be good? I'm going to be in the area. And they're very good about doing that. We all get in touch and keep in touch.
Some of the best times that I've actually had have been going from Boston, where I live, and traveling to other garrisons and other areas and being part of their events. I headed down for my wife's family reunion. We do that every June in Maryland. So I head down there, meet her family real quick. Sorry, gotta go. So it's been a saving grace to have all of these ready-made friends in other areas, so I don't have to. They're gonna watch this video later, and I am doomed. But to be able to go, it's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go see these people. We're gonna go do this ball game. I'm gonna meet some friends. It's gonna be great. We've had members who we had one move from Tewksbury to Arizona, and members here helped load him into his U-Haul truck, and members in Arizona helped load him out. I'd never met these people before in his life. Welcome to the Dune Sea Garrison. Let me grab that box for you. What's that? No, actually, JD. Well, yeah, we've got a member who's on training. He's on his basic training right now. He's from the Rhode Island area, Providence area, and he's out in Arizona right now doing his training. A week into being out there, he's hanging out with the members of, again, the Dune Sea Garrison, just going out, hanging out, meeting these new people, and it's an automatic in. Oh, you're part of the 501st. You're part of the Rebel Legion. Come on out. Let's go grab a drink. Let's talk about what are the events like in your area. Oh, do you know this guy? Yeah. It's an instant camaraderie the second that they see you've got a TK ID. You're a Rebel Legion. Come on out. Any questions?
Why is Connecticut have its own section for these events?
Because they are too big. They have enough members to create their own garrison. So because the distance from Hartford to Boston, it's like, 2+ hours? And they were having a lot of events down there that they're organizing. We've got a lot of events up here that we're organizing. For organizational purposes, they had enough members, they split off, they're doing their own thing, and that way it's a lot more focused on the different communities. So you'll find that as well with, we have a new organization within the garrison called the Green Mountain Squad. The Green Mountain Squad is just made up of members in Vermont, and they are planning their own events. They have their own squad leader. They have people contacting them to set things up. They're getting ready to post their own logo, the whole 9 yards. They're still part of the New England Garrison. It's just they're also more focused on the communities within like Burlington, and Montpelier, and Champlain in Vermont. So it just makes things easier when you're trying to organize events. Anybody else? Costuming questions?
Okay, I guess the question then for either side of you, cost-wise, what does it take to make a standard Stormtrooper and a standard Jedi outfit?
You want to start?
I'll start. My Jedi is entirely made of fabric that I got for $2.99 a yard at a discount store. You can spend anything you want on a costume. My lightsaber was the most expensive thing I have, but you don't need an expensive one. I know people who've made a lightsaber out of stuff they got at the hardware store.
There you go.
You can spend what you want. We can get you in and show you how
Don't get it wet, man.
Now, on the flip side of things, whereas I have my Jedi, which cost me some total of $8, I also have costumes that. Are you guys familiar with the Clone Wars animated show? There was a 4th season. There was a character named General Tom Krell. He's got the 4 arms. He's got the 2 double-bladed lightsabers. He's 9.5 feet tall. And idiot me decided to do that costume. It probably cost me between the lightsabers, the foam, the latex work, the molding materials to make the mask, the hands, the leather for the belt, probably somewhere in the realm of $2,500. And that was a one-off, one-of-a-kind, all homemade, scratch-built prototype thing. When you're dealing as part of the Legions, there are people who have made the costumes already, and they'll make things that are called bucks, so you can do vacuum form, or there's molds, so you can make multiples of the helmet quickly and inexpensively. So if you became a member of the organizations, even as a cadet, we share those resources with you and let you know, this guy's making helmets. They're going to be X amount. I'm not sharing names and I'm not sharing prices because we're not able to. But this person's going to be doing a run of helmets soon. Talk to this guy. Oh, this guy's doing an armor run. You know what? You can give him a hand. Hop on over to his basement, and he'll be pulling some armor. Give him a hand with that, and probably walk away with a kit after you pay for the plastic. These kinds of things, because once again, the fraternity, the camaraderie, we're always helping each other. So we don't typically turn a profit turning plastic into armor, or turning resin into helmets, or turning fabric into Jedi. We don't take that. You buy the pizza, we'll make the costume. That kind of thing. So, other questions? Nothing?
He was excited about the costume because he likes that character you were talking about. I don't know who that character is, but he loves it.
There you go. And one of these days I might fix it up and try it back out again.
We all wind up with our favorite costumes. A lot of us have costume ADD like Erich does. He's got, what did you say, 15, 14 now? And, yeah, only one promise. How many promises do you have?
In various stages of disrepair is a different in progress.
We spend a lot of time repairing our costumes too. There's wear and tear involved. And it's heartbreaking when something happens to your costume the first time. Something cracks, something tears.
And it happens, but we help you fix it. So we refer to it as weathering. The first time that I went out in my Republic Commando costume, there's a video game called Republic Commando. It's a small squad of 4 members, and I put together this. I actually took a loan out against my car to be able to grab the armor kit because I wanted it now. And my wife was like, "Can't wait for that." But the first time that I did an event, it was actually at Hasbro's headquarters in Kentucky. It was a kids' park. And I happened to walk out where they were doing a pitch thing, like a slow pitch. And I caught one. And I felt something go crack. I panicked. Not a fun feeling. Fortunately, it sounds, especially when you've got the echo inside the helmet, a lot worse than it is. And we fixed it that night in 15 minutes. But it's always that bit of panic that sets in about that thing that I spent time and money and effort on it. Oh no. So
push the button, it doesn't light up, and I tried new batteries. That's it. That's the limit of what I can do. Now what?
But she can bring over pizza while I rewire the lightsaber. So everyone has their talents. Congratulations.
I can carry pizza.
There you go.
What's the worst day each of you had while being in an event?
You go first.
Oh, that's good.
It's easy to find the best day. What's the worst day?
The best days are easy.
Yeah.
Can I do best day instead?
Worst day. No. I know the feeling of the best day, so.
Worst day,
What's the
I
worst
have to say, would be the parade. I'm not going to name it. It was snow on the ground, snow on the sidewalks. It was so cold, I literally could not feel my hands. Not just my fingers, I could not feel my hands by the end of it. Couldn't feel my feet. Parades in the snow are horrible. That was just nothing broke. I've been fortunate so far, mostly because mine's the Jedi, that there's nothing really to break on it. But we've had, and I can layer, and now I do. Because that I learned my lesson on that one. But we do this in all kinds of weather. The worst, I've been fortunate enough so far, knock on wood, that the biggest problems I've had haven't been weather related. It's too cold, or worse, I'm wearing 3 or 4 layers of wool in my Jedi. And it's 90 degrees.
Yep.
And yeah, that's painful.
My turn. So
Only up his hands. Let's go.
I've got 2 for completely different reasons. So I did a troop once outside of our area. I will not name the location, but I was wearing my TIE pilot costume, which it's a flight suit and some armor and helmet, blaster, boots, that kind of thing. So we call them soft costumes because it's not all hard plastic. I had a kid walk up to me, look me straight in the eye in awe of my costume. He's just like, his jaw is trembling. He's got kind of this look in his eye like he's gonna well up. And I look down and I go, "Hi," and he goes, "You're a bad guy," and punches me square in the. That was a bad day.
No codpiece?
No codpiece. I do now, but that. Ooh. See, there are things you learn while you're in costume. Protect yourself at all times, unfortunately. From another angle, another perspective, earlier this year, late last year, we did our parade in Woburn, Massachusetts, a Halloween parade every year. Our members got together and built a Millennium Falcon cockpit. We actually did it as a surprise for a member of ours that passed, Justin Mann, who passed earlier this year. He had been a member of the organization for somewhere around 10 years, and unfortunately had cancer and was not able to do a lot of things on his own. We built that so he could have one last trip with us, so he could be with us one last time. We made an Obi-Wan Kenobi costume for him. We put him in the Falcon, and we had one last trip. I unfortunately was unable to march and I wasn't able to participate. I made sure that I saw the organization off, and they rounded that corner, and it hit me that this was the last time that I was going to see Justin trooping. This is the last time that he was going to be in costume, and that's my worst time. So let's try to bring things up.
I'm going to talk about my best time.
Please do.
All right.
Awesome.
Best time now.
Best time. My very first trip as a Jedi. First time I wore the costume was Rhode Island Comic Con, and it was the last time we had Jabba the Hutt. And we've got this whole life-size hut set up, and we've got all the signs saying this is his last appearance before he retires years to his ranch in California. And of course, there's a lot of parents who are excited to get pictures with their kids with Jabba. And I'm, watch, and there's a dad trying to convince his 4-year-old she wants her picture with Jabba. And she's looking at this thing like, it's gonna eat me. It doesn't help anything that Jabba was a puppet. And we actually had somebody inside it. So not only was it huge, it was moving. The arms move, the tongue moves. And I'm looking down, and you can tell when a dad is getting frustrated and it's about to go bad. So I go over and I drop down to a knee so I can look her in the eye and like, would you like to come with me? It's okay, I'm a Jedi, I'll make sure nothing bad happens. And the tears switch off like that. It was like the sun rose. And she reaches over and takes my hand, and we go over and we get the picture. And it hits me right there. I'm a Jedi. She believes it. That's why we do it stories. And that was mine. That's when it hits you. We don't do it for us. We're doing it for the kids. We're doing it for the ones that get to walk in. My first Wolverine parade. I was marching behind R2-D2. We actually have a couple of guys that have functioning R2-D2, the Goldust Clubs. And I remember watching one of the kids on the side of the road literally jumping up and down and hyperventilating. R2's real. Oh my God, Mom, he's real. And it hits you. It really does.
So just really quickly, because I know that we are starting to run out of a bit of our time, we've mentioned before about we're the 501st and Rebel Legions. The organizations that we belong to are the preferred Imperial and Heroic Costuming Organization. The Lucasfilm and Disney recognized 2 other organizations as part of their invite costuming organizations. One is the Mandalorian Mercs. We have 2 different Merc groups that cover our area, Praxin Clan and Wampa Clan. So if anybody, you'll see some of our custom Mandos that are walking around out there today. And if you're interested in joining them, they have an area on our forums as well. Please join us at 501NEG.com, AlderaanBase.com. There's an organization called the Dark Empire, which deals in custom Sith costumes and custom Darksider costumes. They're also one of LFL and Disney's approved groups because you cannot be part of the 501st with custom costume. It needs to be Darth Vader or Count Dooku or Savage Opress or something that has a reference. But if you wanted to do a custom, like you'll see some of those out there today, they belong to the Dark Empire. That's also something that we help handle locally. All 4 groups. We're very fortunate locally that these organizations work very well together. That's not the case everywhere. There is still some of the old Imperial Rebel animosity. It's just not but locally, if you want to play Star Wars, it doesn't matter how you want to do it. Come play, and we will make you better at it. Thank you, everybody, and enjoy the con.